Hi, this is Miss Lauren from the Lawrence branch, and I'm here with our virtual book display. Today I'm going to show you new juvenile and young adult graphic novels here at the Mercer County Library. We'll start off with some juvenile titles. First up, we have The First Cat in Space Ate Pizza, written by Mac Barnett, illustrated by Sean Harris. Something terrible is happening in the skies. Rats are eating the moon. There's only one hero for the job, a bold and fearsome beast bioengineered in a secret lab to be the moon's savior and Earth's last hope. And that hero is a cat who will be blasted into space. Accompanied by some friends, will these unlikely heroes save the moon in time? And will the first cat in space ever eat some pizza? Next up, we have Swim Team, written and illustrated by Johnny Christmas. Bree can't wait for the first day at her new middle school, Enith Brigitta, home to the mighty manatees, until she's stuck with the only elective that fits her schedule, the dreaded Swim 101. The thought of swimming makes Bree more than a little queasy, yet she's forced to dive headfirst into one of her greatest fears. Lucky for her, Etta, an elderly occupant of her apartment building and former swim team captain, is happy to help. With Etta's training and a lot of hard work, Bree suddenly finds her swim-crazed community counting on her to turn the school's failing team around. But that's easier said than done, especially when their rival has everything they need to leave the mighty manatees in their wake. Can Bree defy the odds and guide her team to a state championship, or have the manatees swum their last lap for good? Next up, we have Miss Kinseys, written and illustrated by Kat Farhado. Sue just wants to spend the summer reading and making comics at sleepaway camp with her friends, but instead she gets stuck going to Honduras to visit relatives with her parents and two sisters. They live way out in the country, which means no texting, no cable, and no internet. The trip takes a turn for the worse when Sue's mother announces that they'll be having a surprise quinceañera for Sue, which is the last thing she wants. She can't imagine wearing a big, floofy, colorful dress. What is Sue going to do, and how will she survive all this quality time with her rambunctious family? Next, we have Apple Crush, written and illustrated by Lucy Knisley. Jen is just getting used to her life on Peapod Farm with her new stepsisters, Andy and Reese. But when the school year starts, there are even more changes in store for her. Jen has to navigate new friends and new challenges. But at least she'll have Andy with her, right? As she starts the 6th grade, she finds that her stepsister seems way more interested in crushes and boys than hanging out with her, while Jen wants to know when the world decided boys and girls couldn't just be friends anymore. Jen's story continues in the standout sequel to Stepping Stones that captures everything awesome and scary about growing up. Now we have Expedition Backyard, exploring nature from country to city, written and illustrated by Rosemary Moscow and Bing Lin Hu. Each day, best friends Mole and Vole venture out into the world, never forgetting their nature journal, to see what they can find in their own backyard. From pigeons and jumping spiders to swamp milkweed and maple trees, these two explorers get to know every part of their local environment. But after an accidental move from the country to the city, Mole and Vole worry that everything will be different. As they explore, they discover plants to look at and animals to meet in their new home as well. The story of these two best friends brings to life a nonfiction adventure of finding wonder in nature everywhere, no matter where you live. And for our last juvenile graphic novel, we have Twin Cities, written and illustrated by Jose Pimienta. Being twins means having a best friend forever, but when one twin goes to school in Mexico and the other goes to school across the border in Calexico, can the bond withstand the distance? Twin Cities explores the importance of family and also the struggles that come with trying to live up to standards that are impossible to meet. Now let's look at a few new young adult graphic novels. First, we have The Prisoner of Shiverstone, written and illustrated by Lynette Moore. 11-year-old Helga Sharp is found unconscious in a drifting rowboat near the coast of Utley Island. Utley is a forbidden territory. It's a prison island to which the mainland has exiled troublesome mad scientists for generations. Helga is questioned by the guards, and though they're suspicious of her story, they agree to let her stay until they find her family. The truth is, it's no accident that Helga landed here. She is a keen inventor, but the mainland is suspicious of all scientists and inventors. While working on her projects in secret, Helga made radio contact with Erasmus Lope, a mad scientist who everyone thought had died in a lab experiment gone completely wrong. But Lope is alive, and Helga is on a mission to rescue him from the prison island. Next, we have Battle Royale, written and illustrated by Liesl Adams. When 17-year-old small-town waitress Rose impresses a famous food critic, she and her best friend Fred find themselves thrust in a tough world of competitive baking. The contest is an intense 10 days of bizarre challenges, and the competition is cutthroat. Some competitors are willing to lie, cheat, and sabotage their way to the top. Rose may be in over her head, but she is determined to show that she can become a top chef. Battle Royale is a fish-out-of-water style romantic comedy about climbing out of the circumstances you're in and making your dreams come true. Next, we have Galaxy, the Prettiest Star, written by Jadzia Axelrod, illustrated by Jess Taylor. In this book from DC Comics, Taylor Barzilay has the perfect life. Good looks, good grades, a starting position on the basketball team, a loving family, even an adorable corgi. Every day in Taylor's life is perfect, and every day is torture. Taylor is actually the Galaxy Crowned, an alien princess from the planet Cyandi, and one of the few survivors of an intergalactic war. For 6 long, painful years, Taylor has accepted her duty to remain in hiding as a boy on Earth. That all changes when Taylor meets Metropolis girl Catherine, call me Cat, Silverberg, whose confidence is electrifying. Suddenly, Taylor no longer wants to hide, even if exposing her true identity could attract her greatest enemies. And finally, we have the book Slip, written by Marika Makula and illustrated by Admaja Pandya. Right before Jade is about to leave for a summer art intensive, her best friend Phoebe attempts suicide. How is Jade supposed to focus on herself right now? But at the art farm, Jade has artistic opportunities she's been waiting for her whole life. And as she gets to know her classmates, she begins to fall for whimsical, upbeat, comfortable in her own skin Mary. Jade pours herself into making ceramic monsters that vent her stress and insecurities. But when she puts her creatures in the kiln, something unreal happens. They come to life, and they're taking a stand. If Jade won't confront her problems are going to confront her, including the scariest of them all. If Jade grows, prospers, and even falls in love this summer, is she leaving Phoebe behind? And that's all we have for today. You can check out these books and more on our website, www.mcl.org, or our app, MyMCLSNJ. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.